happening, the final phase. They're even starting to cut police, except in the big mega cities where the crooks live, where the bankers live. I see reports every day where towns in Ohio and Texas and California and Michigan and Florida cut more than half of their police. And then it said in that article I read last week out of Ohio, where they went from 116 cops to 44. In fact, try to pull that up if you can. It was Ohio sheriff. Ohio sheriff says arm yourself. I want to make sure I'm giving those numbers exactly right. And they say, of the 40-plus cops, only one will be on patrol per shift, 3 cops a day. The other 40-plus are to raise revenue. There are no cops when you're getting raped and robbed. There are no cops when you have a wreck. And this is now being announced all over. All of the money, all of it, will go to the bankers. All of it. This is robbery on a level never before seen. So I wanted to go over that. Now, I'm going to get into the correspondence dinner. I'm going to get into this other commencement speech that Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama, gave over the weekend. But before we do that, I wanted to bring Ted Anderson up of Midas Resources, who owns this radio network, the Genesis Network, as well. He's been in gold and silver for 31 years. He's had Midas Resources for 13 years, almost 14 years. He was a sponsor of my radio show before I was even on the network he started. And look, the bankers are going to rob everything. They're going to devalue the dollar. They're going to take your bank account. They're going to try to take your pension fund. The way to go is the mason jars, folks. Bury that stuff or put it in the safety deposit box under another name. Whatever you do, or bury it 100 miles away, whatever. Get gold and silver. Get it today, ladies and gentlemen. And Ted Anderson, a couple months ago when gold was $101,050 an ounce, he bought a bunch of it. He sold out of that. He sold it to you as it went to 1,100, 1,150, and right up close to $1,200 dollars an ounce right now, $1,200 an ounce. It had to go up, but it's still lower than anybody else has. This is still gold and silver he bought in the next wave. As it was going up, he was buying it and holding it to sell it to you at a lower price once it went up. You can't beat that deal. So I wanted to briefly have Ted Anderson up to tell folks about today's special offer and the new prices. Ted Anderson.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me up, Alex. It's funny watching the U.S. dollar rise as gold rises even faster, which just means that the Europeans' currencies are falling faster than the United States dollar is. It's just, before I would look for the U.S. dollar to fall for gold to rise in price. Now gold just rises against all the currencies, no matter what's going on. There's just so much economic activity out here. People should be shaking in their shoes if they knew how much debt was growing and what the consequences of that would be to our
Obama
economy.
has spent more money than all presidents before him combined, and he just got it started. He did that before he was in office a year. All laws of economics say they're going to try to take the pension funds and they will devalue the dollar.
Well, you're already seeing that in Greece. Could you imagine if that was happening here in the United States, that we're going to have to cut our pension funds because some foreigner says we have to do it?
They're now announcing. The feds are saying they're getting ready to.
Obviously that's going to happen here too. If you want to have any glimpse of
they're
hope,
already brainwashing the yuppies that's how they... And yuppies will want to feel like they're official and in power, so they'll go, here's my money. I'm agreeing with the government. I have power. I'm part of it. It's a delusional fruitcake population of idiots. I'm not talking about everybody, but the people that think this is cute are a bunch of scum.
Well, gold hitting a peak today at 1,189 already today. Obviously, we're in a bull market in the gold. It's reflecting all that that you're talking about.
It's normally down in the summer and it's going up. Can you imagine the fall?
I know. Alex, actually, I was thinking the fall is going to be the time that we're going to see the greatest move in gold. But you know what? It may not work out this way. We might see the summer doing it. It's just completely defying gravity. And it's obviously because the United States dollar's in trouble. And it's in trouble like the European currencies are in trouble. It's just that the European currencies are reflecting a larger drop right now than the U.S. dollar is. But yeah, gold has been going up. Currently, right now, we still have the Franken Forecaster offer. They're currently right now $254.68. A little bit higher than it was before, but not by much. And I can tell you that is a low price. And when you factor in the fact that you're going to get a $159 subscription to Bob Chapman's newsletter, it just is absolutely out of this world. The silver Walking Liberty halves are at $9.75, still holding them at that price. That was the price I had them when silver was down closer to $15 an ounce. Right now, silver is just touching $19 an ounce. Obviously, a very good buy. Usually those things trade for more than the half of the spot price, and it's certainly getting way out of whack there. That's a great coin to be buying. British sovereigns 324.43. Another good, I try to pick on smaller gold pieces because when it comes right down to trading for the goods and services that you need fractional gold and you need some smaller pieces of silver. And those British sovereigns and the francs just fall perfectly for that. If you're interested, you can pick up some of the U.S. Eagles. We have supplies of those. We have a lot of supply right now, which is sort of amazing because typically in the marketplace, it's not like this. When you have a push for gold prices like they have been rising like they have, usually supply gets dried up real fast, and I'm sure that we're going to be facing that again, and you'll see places like Kitco posting little announcements.
Well, Ted, most of your competition is out of gold and silver right now, or there's a huge premium. You've just been around so long and are AAA rated by the Better Business Bureau, so you're not having a problem getting gold and silver. Folks, get yours today. I mean, earlier I played that Pennsylvania tax authority ad where they show Big Brother watching you saying, nice house, nice car. Give us what we want. I mean, they almost said, or your kids are going to go bye-bye. I mean, you talk about a mafia video. Did you see that video, Ted?
I didn't. I'll have to go take a look at that.
Well, it's up on GCNlive.com if people want to go look at it. Ted Anderson, let me give people the toll-free number so they can call and talk to the brokers and take advantage of all those great deals on gold and silver. That $50 silver, I mean, that's an insane deal right there. 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Ladies and gentlemen, start getting into gold and silver today, even if you buy a coin or two of each. The point is start moving away from paper assets if you've got any brain in your head, and I know a lot of you are smarter than I am, so take action. 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Ted, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me up, Alex.
You bet. Okay, in fact, in the last segment, if I have time, I want to play that Pennsylvania brainwashing ad one more time for those that just joined us. But right now, I want to play a clip of Obama from a commencement speech in Michigan late last week. And when you listen to what he has to say, it's so arrogant. He's saying you basically can't criticize the government because the government represents the people. And we're a democracy. No, in a democracy, 49% can be robbed by the other 51%. In a democracy, if they ship in enough illegal aliens, they can vote to take our guns, whatever they want, and then we'll lose our Second Amendment. In a republic, everyone's rights are protected. And Obama knows that. He understands that. So this message of when you criticize the government, you're criticizing the people. No, the government, when it's outside the Bill of Rights and Constitution, it is our right, it is our duty to overthrow it according to the Declaration of Independence. But see, that's terror talk today because we're facing somebody similar to King George III. So let's go ahead and play this first clip.
Sometimes regulations fail, and sometimes their benefits don't justify their costs. But what troubles me is when I hear people say that all of government is inherently bad. And one of my favorite signs during the healthcare debate was somebody who said, keep your government hands out of my Medicare. Which is essentially saying, keep government out of my government-run healthcare plan. These are arguments we're having.
So that's how his logic works. We have a 10% growth rate on average, no inflation. From 1789 until 1913, 97 years ago, we get a private banking cartel. The banks are robbing us and looting us. The people are saying, don't take over health care, lower the quality, and raise the cost as a tax to the bank-owned insurance companies. And that's what the health care plan does. We've got the banking bill. And I was going to go over that. If we have time, I will. where subsection by subsection, the big mega banks wrote it to where they can only be involved in banking and can shut down their competition, and it surveils every transaction you make in your own bank account. No longer if it's $10,000 does the government get a report. Now everything you do is in a government database. Then it can be stolen, lost, abused, used. I mean, this is so horrible, section by section. And that takes us now to Obama takes digs at birthers, GOP, and his adversaries. And everything he's saying here is true. In fact, first let's play Bush. Bush making jokes about the WMDs. We'll cue that up and play that in a moment. Because this is similar. This is similar to what Obama's doing, telling the truth. Bush makes jokes looking under his desk. No WMDs there, no WMDs here. It's a joke to kill 1 million people. It's a joke to take us to war. It's a joke for thousands of our troops to die. Here it is.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere.